Some bad news to start off the episode. Dylan Bundy is going to be out for 6+ months with a torn labrum. He was pitching exceptionally well for us this season through 14 starts. He had 71 innings pitched, 81 strikeouts, only 17 walks, a 3.42 ERA and a 2.92 FIP. A big hit to our rotation and the productiveness of our team. He was pitching like that legitimate number 2 that I wanted to have behind D-Rod, more so than Tyler Skaggs has this year. And this definitely confirms my thought process that we are going to need to go out and upgrade our rotation at the trade deadline this year if we are still in it, which by all means it looks like we are going to be once that trade deadline does roll around. But for now, it'll be Braylon Marquez in the starting rotation. He has 3 starts so far here in 2022. He is a misleading 6.08 ERA. His FIP is actually 1.80, and he's actually pitched quite well, so ignore the ERA for now. Marquez has been pretty solid since coming up, but I do still think we are going to have to improve the bullpen at the deadline, or rather the rotation, not the bullpen. But speaking of the bullpen, Logan Webb has been called up from AAA for his first stint in the big leagues. He was absolutely shoving in AAA as a starter through 80 2/3 innings. He had something like 83 strikeouts and a 2.01 ERA, 2.82 FIP, or 2.81 FIP, so he's been called up. He's been okay so far in the big leagues in the bullpen. He has 12 1/3 pitched, a 5.11 ERA, 4.38 FIP. He does have 8 walks though, so you would like to see that get worked on a bit, and he is wearing number 43 for the big league ball club. We also had another injury in Matt Wieters. He is also on the 60-day IL with a broken ankle. The entire organization has been bitten by the injury bug, not just the big league level, AAA and AA as well. Matt Wieters has barely played this year for us, but he was good in those games that he did play with an 820 OPS through 43 ABs. But he's no longer the backup catcher. That job belongs to Chase Numata, who has been called up from AAA. He's now the backup catcher in the big leagues for us, him and his mustache. It's also worth mentioning that Javi Baez is very much playing like we thought he would. He has been absolutely on fire lately. He's got his OPS up to 807. He has 18 home runs on the year. Very much what you like to see, especially from a guy who had a sub-700 OPS through the first month or so of the season. And the Giants travel out to Dodger Stadium in Los Angeles to take on their longtime rival Dodgers, who are going to be sending out the young lefty Julio Urias, making his 17th start of the season. Has not had the greatest year, and neither has the man opposing him in another lefty in Tyler Skaggs, although Skaggs has been much better as of recently. And take a look at the Giants lineup 1-9 against the lefty Urias. So Stuart Fairchild, the man who rakes against lefties, steps into the box with 1 out in the top of the second, and he's going to continue to hit the ball against lefties well as he gets a base knock. He's on first base. After that, it's going to be a hit and run. Peter Mooney, the 5'6" hit machine, hits the ball over the head of the center fielder. Fairchild scores all the way from first base, and Mooney has himself an RBI double. 1-0 Giants, bottom of the second now. Skaggs gets Muncy to go down swinging on the curveball. After that, it's going to be Pollock whiffing through the fastball for out number 2, and then the inning would get topped off as the catcher Ruiz pops one up into shallow right field as the center fielder Altair comes into it. I should say right center, that was more like. And then Javier Baez hits a hard ground ball down the third baseline, but DJ LeMahieu making the diving play to his feet to throw out the speedy Baez at first. Top of the fourth now, Aaron Altair is going to dribble one past the second baseman Sanchez for a single. He's on first, brings up Justin Turner, the former Dodger, who's going to go gapping here against his former team. That's going to get down. They did not think it was going to get down, though, so the runners are only going to be able up to second and third. Brings up Peter Mooney, who is going to strike out, but he reaches on the drop third strike as the catcher Ruiz had to check the runner on third there, so bases juice. Franklin Barreto hits the ball into left field. 1 run comes in. A second one will come in because the left fielder struggled with it. It's now a 3-0 lead for the Giants. Later on in the inning, Chase Numata hits a ground ball over to third. LeMahieu has some trouble with it, but he recovers to throw out Numata at first base. After that, Tyler Skaggs comes to the plate with runners on second and third. He's going to pop one up into the shallow outfield where LeMahieu handles that. Now Skaggs back on the hill in the bottom of the fourth. Bellinger line drive in the left field, and Fairchild makes the play, tumbles as well. and then the inning would be capped off as Muncy goes down looking on the changeup. On to the top of the fifth now, Elliot Ramos leading the inning off is going to bloop a ball into right center field for a base knock, so he's on to lead off the inning. Brings up Javi Baez, who is going to crush a ball into the left center field gap. That'll get down easily into the gap, and Ramos is going to score all the way from first base as Baez has himself an RBI triple, slides in before the tag. 4-0 Giants is the lead. That'll be the end of Arias' day as Dustin May comes on. He throws one pitch, and this one's going in the gap as well. Aaron Altair takes it into the right center field gap. He's got an RBI double. 5-0 is the score. On to the bottom of the fifth, A.J. Pollock whiffing through the 93-mile-an-hour fastball up and in. After that, it brings up Ruiz. He's also going down on a two-seamer, though. And then for the third out, it would be Sanchez grounding out over to first base. Turner makes the nice play on the slide, and then he tosses to the covering Skaggs. Bottom of the sixth now, Alex Verdugo came on to pinch hit. He would strike out on the 12-6 curve. And then for the final out of the inning, it would be Chris Taylor also falling victim to that curveball. Bottom of the seventh, and this was where Tyler Skaggs ran out of juice. JD Martinez is going to hit a double into the right center field gap, so he's on second easily. Next batter, or two batters later, it would be Max Muncy, who's going to hit a ball down the left field line. That's going to score Martinez easily. An RBI double for Muncy as it makes it a 5-1 game. Dodgers on the board. That would end Skaggs' day, who pitched very well up until the seventh inning, and Jason Tuttman would come out of the game to try to get out of the jam, or sort of a jam, as he gets the first batter to pop up in Pollock to the short outfield grass. And then for the third out, it would be Ruiz also popping up, but this one's in foul territory. Here comes Fairchild, and that's going to be a diving play in foul territory. What a catch by Stuart Fairchild. Logan Webb, the eighth, belongs to him in this game with a 4-run lead, and he would get the first batter, 2 strikeouts swinging, and Yolmer Sanchez drop third strike. They toss over to first to complete it. After that, it would be Andrew Toll's pinch hitting, goes down looking on the fastball, and then after a single, it would then be a flyout from Chris Taylor into right field, and it's still a 5-1 game heading into the ninth, where Raisel Iglesias comes on, gives Maranza a day off, and he would make pretty quick work of the Dodgers, gets the final out on the pop-up into foul territory, and the Giants win this one over the NL West leading Dodgers. Big series against this team, as the Giants do end up winning the series. And a big reason for the win in this game was Tyler Skaggs, who was filthy through 6 1/3 innings. 11 strikeouts, only 4 hits given up, and the only run was in that 7th inning where he gave up a double, and then the double to Muncy. Baez had himself an RBI triple. Peter Mooney was 2 for 4 in the day. Aaron Altair also had a multi-hit game, and then Justin Turner had a double against his former team as well, as the Giants win this one over their rival, and they take the series with a 5-1 victory. The Giants have been bitten by the injury bug yet again, as down in AAA, Shane Peterson has fractured his wrist. He will be joining a long list of players on the 60-day IL, and he will not be joining the big league club again anytime soon, while the Padres, who are the team we will be facing, are going to be without Luis Urias in this game. And it's a big game against the Padres because both the Giants and the Padres are sitting at 44-40 on the season, 4 games behind the Dodgers in the NL West. The winner of this game takes sole possession of second place in the National League West. And the Giants have done it this season with their bats. They are third in all of Major League Baseball for home runs with 114 on the season. They are only behind the Tampa Bay Rays, who have been insane this year, keeping up on pace with the Yankees. And then also the St. Louis Cardinals are in second, who have the 2 Paulies, who have been absolutely tearing the world on fire in the National League. We've also been limiting the amount of times we strike out, as we are tied for the 4th least amount of times struck out this season. While unsurprisingly, our pitching has been middle of the road, a team ERA. I believe we are 13th in that category. Definitely want to help improve that at the deadline by picking up a starter. But now we move into a big NL West matchup against the Padres. Giants and Padres both 44-40, battling each other, as the Padres are going to be sending out the young lefty Mackenzie Gore. This will be his 17th start of the season, and he'll be opposed by our young lefty in Braylon Marquez, making his 4th start since being called back up from AAA. Giants lineup 1-2-9, have a look at it, as well as the Padres opposing lineup. Start things off top half of the first inning. Third pitch of the game, Elliot Ramos is going to take it to deep left field. It's going to keep carrying, and it's going to get into the Western Metal Supply Company. A solo shot to lead off the game for Ramos. It's now a 1-0 lead. Next batter up, Javier Baez. Going to hit it to the same part of the ballpark. Is it going to be back-to-back? It will not be. This one dies out right at the wall. Baez gets unlucky. We move on to the bottom of the second, where Fernando Tatis draws himself a walk. He's on first now with 2 outs. Brings up the pitcher in Mackenzie Gore, who's going to bloop one into left field for a single. So first and second, 2 outs with the speedy Tatis on second, and Manuel Margot, who has been fantastic this year for the Padres, hits the ball into that same spot, and it's going to score Tatis from second. It's a tie game. Marquez would get out of the inning, though, as he gets a pop-up behind the plate to Joey Bart for the final out of the inning. Top half of the third, and Javi Baez trying to go yard yet again. This one, though, is going to die at the track. A long flyout for the Padres. Top of the fourth now, Joey Bart, full count. And it's going to be another long flyout, this one at the wall. A long flyout for Joey Bart there, but then Tetsuto Yamada puts an end to the flyouts, and he just cranks this one out of here. Way gone. Left center field. A solo shot for Yamada makes it a 2-1 lead for the Giants now. Bottom half of the fourth inning, Tatis gets plunked by a cutter that ran way inside, so he's on first base. Next batter up, Mejia goes down swinging. But after that, with 1 out, it would bring up Ruiz. Tatis tries to swipe second, but Joey Bart showing off the cannon. Guns the speedy Tatis down on second base, trying to steal on him, and then Ruiz will be finished off with a fastball up in the zone, 95 on the gun. Still a 2-1 ball game. As we move on to the top of the seventh now, where Andre Munoz comes on for the Padres. This will be his 62nd appearance already on the season. Joey Bart's going to go opposite way, poke that one in the right field for a base knock. Next batter up, Yamada. Bang! His second no doubt home run of the game. This one is a 2-run shot, though, as the Giants are now up in the lead 4-1 over the Padres. Padres no longer want to have Munoz in the game, so Baez comes on. He'll be facing the pinch hitter Gilberto Fuentes, who came in to replace Numata and play first base. He gets a pitch he likes to see, low in the zone, and he cranks out the right field. That's going to be over the fence. A solo shot for Fuentes makes it a 5-1 lead for the Giants. We move on to the bottom of the eighth, which belongs to Jason Tupman in this ball game, coming in for the 20th game this season, and he's going to strike out Austin Hedges for the first out, and then the final out would be Will Myers whipping through the fastball, 97 on the gun, right on his hands, could not catch up to it. Craig Stammen came on in the top of the ninth trying to keep the game where it's at, but with a runner on second, Yamada had a chance to hit 3 home runs in the game, but he could not do it. Pops up to left center, can of corn out there, but Gilberto Fuentes, instead of a guy with 3 home runs, we've got 2 guys with 2 home runs. This one just keeps carrying to right center field. It just barely gets over the fence, but it counts. A 2-run shot for Fuentes makes this a 7-1 ball game. Maranta comes in not a save situation, but he hasn't pitched in a few days, so we get some work here, and it showed as he walks for Hunter Renfroe with 2 outs, and then Tatis, first pitch of the AB, handles it easily, sends it into the left field seats. A 2-run shot for Fernando Tatis Jr. makes it a 7-3 ball game. But then Maranta would end it pretty quickly as Eric Hosmer comes on to pinch hit for the Padres, and he would go down swinging on the fastball as Maranta does close it out, as the Giants win this one over the Padres 7-3 as they take sole possession of second place in the National League West. The Giants continue to be on fire as of late. The Bats have been alive for most of this season, and they continue to be absolutely on fire in this game. Tetsuto Yamada, 2 home runs. Gilberto Fuentes, only 2 ABs. Both of those resulted in home runs after he came in to pinch hit. Elliot Ramos had a homer as well, while Joey Bart had a 2-hit day with 2 singles and also 2 runs scored in this 7-3 victory for the San Francisco Giants over the San Diego Padres. And with that being said, that's going to wrap things up here for this edition of the San Francisco Giants franchise. I've been your host, Jerseyborn, and I am saying I watch baseball games on the Yes Network, also known as the Michael K. Broadcasting the Game Network, while sponsored by the Michael K. Show, while using the booth as an extension of the Michael K. Show.